Look straight into the camera for this. I'm gonna
This
write
is,
that
yeah,
here.
this is very up close and personal. Should I be making faces? I don't know.
No.
I literally do this for a living, but it's still always strange when you're like staring directly into it. What's going on, everybody? I'm Hasan. I'm staring into your soul right now. I would say I solidified my success when I was able to get AOC on my show to play Among Us with a bunch of other people, and that kind of dictated the terms for a lot of political campaigns and how they recognize this new social media platform like Twitch.
Oh my God.
Oh my God!
That was certainly a defining moment for me where I thought, like, damn, like, I did this so casually, but like, you know, people are paying attention to this.
If you believe that democracy works in the level of governance, why don't you believe that we can implement democracy in the workplace, especially considering that adults spend 80% of their entire lives inside of these corporations, and these corporations are absolutely authoritarian in its structure.
The criticism that was thrown in my face has been consistent throughout my career. I'm an idiot, I'm a dumb bimbo, I don't know what I'm talking about. I've gotten numb to the criticism. Like, as a matter of fact, I seek it out now because I make content out of it. I think it's funny and fun. I was born in New Brunswick, New Jersey, and my parents wanted to do that so that I would have an American citizenship, so that one day I could be the president. That second part's not true, but I then immediately was shipped back off to Turkey. I definitely did grow up fascinated by American culture. I'm a bit of a marabou, like a weeb for America, kind of, which is why I don't have an accent. For all of its faults, failures, and horrific policy decisions that destroy the planet, if there's one thing America's good at, it's selling America, and also movies and degeneracy and hedonism, which I like. Why I didn't fit in was because I was just a nerd. Imagine back in the day, before like the Marvel Cinematic Universe was poppin', and like everyone was like, "Oh, I'm a nerd, I'm a geek." Like that was like a fashionable thing to do. Like in the '90s, when you were like a nerdy kid, yeah, people were like, "What the fuck's wrong with you? You weirdo? Like you were watching anime, playing video games?" But in Turkey, all the kids at school wanted to play football, soccer, and I was just like, "Nah, I don't fuck with that. I just wanna draw like Dota characters." I feel like most kids have a little bit of an anarchy streak in them. It's kind of like when you go to Catholic school and then you know, lash out and become like someone who doesn't believe in organized religion. As a consequence of that, it's kind of like that, where in 3rd grade, we had religion class, and I was just like this annoying little debate lord kid, and my teacher was like teaching us Islam, and I was like, well, this is technically religion class. Why are we learning only about Islam? That's why I was just annoying, to be honest with you. That's what originally sparked it. I'm just a terrible Muslim. I mean, I was always really interested in politics from an early age. Politics is a big part of Turkish life. We talk about it all the time. Like in Western states, it's impolite to discuss politics, right? You're not supposed to talk about politics at the dinner table. In Turkey, it's the opposite. Like, that's all, we love talking about politics. I'm very critical of the government, and I'm very outspoken, and they're not too fond of that, I think. Political dissent is certainly suppressed in the country. You know, that's something I worry about a lot. I always wanted to come to college here. Like, when, this is so whack, but when they were younger, people would say like, I want to be an astronaut, I want to be a firefighter, I want to be a scientist. I was like, I want to go to college in America. I went to University of Miami, my first year in the United States of America by myself, 18 years old. I immediately was like, I want to start promoting, because I was like, I'm used to going out from Turkey because the drinking age there is 18. So there's like a different drinking culture there. I would even go so far as to say a healthier drinking culture than the United States. I started doing promotions, and I would just bring in people from my school to clubs and stuff to get them into places. My parents freaked out. They're in Turkey. They're Turkish, so they're like, you go to America to like get good grades and become very successful, become doctor or engineer or lawyer and nothing in between. So they were like, what the fuck? You're not gonna become doctor at this point. You're not going back to Miami. I was like, what do you mean? We're just not gonna pay for college at all. So the only thing that had like open enrollment at the time was Rutgers. I graduated with honors from Rutgers, so I guess my parents were right to transfer me there. I'm looking for jobs, just like every other person is in my age group. In the aftermath of the 2008 financial crisis, there's no jobs other than like, shilling life insurance to your friends and family over the phone. I would go to all these places and try to get a consulting job, like a consulting firm. And I didn't have connections. I didn't have anything. I didn't know anyone. I just couldn't find a job. So I was like, you know what? I want to get the fuck out of New Jersey. Like, I want to get out of here. I want to go to Los Angeles. And my uncle at the time had a little YouTube channel / network called the Young Turks Network. I was like, I'll go intern there. And I lied basically to my parents. I was like, I'm gonna totally study for the LSATs in Los Angeles while doing this internship. I was, I did study for the LSATs, but I was not interested in going to law school, let's be real. I lived in his house and interned for him. And then I got a job with them, with the Young Turks. I was the first person to join on and like take charge of the advertisement sales and operations. I always wanted to do something on camera, even though I was terrible. Like, I was just so bad on camera, it was awful. But I still wanted to do it. And I thought I had creative ideas. While I was building out our advertisement operations, while I was building out like these cold call lists, building relationships with like buyers and sellers, trying to learn this entire field on my own as like a new person with like no older experienced veteran guiding me. I was also simultaneously like, I want to build a show. I want to be on a show. I want to produce a show, no matter what. Luckily, it's YouTube. It's not like TV, so it's not as, the boundaries aren't as well defined. So what I started doing was I presented myself as a fill-in host. I was like, I will go on and I will fill in if one of the main hosts of any of these shows don't want to be on. And it was the entertainment side. Once every 3 to 4 weeks, someone would be sick, I'd fill in. And then I was like, look, I can do this. Let me build my own show. So I basically repurposed the supply closet, put a camera in there and a teleprompter, and started writing and like scripting out shows and shooting them for free. Like, they're not paying me for it, and I'm still doing my advertisement stuff. And it was successful.
Let's be honest, 2016 made me want to kill myself. There was a lot of vitriolic race baiting going on.
Everyone was interested in politics all of a sudden, because Trump is impossible to ignore. And those videos went insanely viral. It was right around the 2016 election cycle coverage. There were a lot of conservative commentators that were blowing up in the same age range as myself. Tommy Lauren was the famous one that I was like, this is so easily dismantled. Like, I saw her getting like 30 million, 40 million views on videos where she was basically just repurposing like old school racist agitprop. Like, she was just saying racist shit. Like, that's it. Like, black people are violent. Like, that's what she was basically saying. But everyone was like, oh my God, but this is like a young blonde lady saying it, like a young blonde girl saying it, so it's somehow different.
Tommy got rewarded with fat media contracts and millions of views for saying everything short of the N-word in the same landscape where I struggle to get you to even follow my YouTube page.
This is something that I can so easily dismantle, these arguments. So I started doing that. And then my videos started getting more views than her videos. My videos critiquing her videos would get more views. That's how it started. Like, that's how I originally blew up.
Wait a minute, pause the music. Does that say she got too upset? Is she apologizing for her words because she was triggered?
Have you ever met her?
One time, she was doing a man on the street interview in a West Hollywood corner, and I approached her producer to be on it. I mean, this was like years later, and she got super mad. She was like, "What the fuck are you doing?" To the producer, she was like yelling at her producer. Like, "I'm not gonna have him on. I'm not gonna have him on. Do you know who that is?" That's the only interaction we've ever had. To be fair, I think she'd probably now love to get on my show, because, you know, desperate for clout. No, she's washed. Nobody watches or cares about Tommy Lauren anymore. Pundits have no skill. We just talk shit. That's all we do in an entertaining way. The best thing that the Young Turks did was just like build this insecurity within me that like, no matter what I do, I will always be in the shadow of my uncle and be in the shadow of the Young Turks. So I would work really hard, and I would like come up with these these creative ways of doing things that other people weren't doing. And even when there was demonstrable success, because of, I guess, fears that Cenk would come across as like doing nepotism, he would go extra hard on me and would just be like, all right, cool IP. We're just gonna give it to everyone else in the company now. It's the company's IP. So it definitely just like put a chip on my shoulder. "2018 is when I decided I want to build out my own like thing on the internet. I don't want to be just another pundit on the Young Turks. I don't want to just like have my own Instagram. I want to do something more. I want to have a place that I can go to every day, like where I have my own community." And so I started Twitch streaming, and I was at the time playing Fortnite already. I was playing it for like 4 hours after work. Regardless, and I was playing with some other pundits. I was already playing with these guys, so I was like, you know, this would be interesting if I just strapped the camera on and just started broadcasting it. And it started growing and growing, and before I knew it, I had 1,000 people watching, and then 2,000, 4,000. Right around that time, I said something about 9/11 that like everyone agrees with, but in a way that no one will say or agree with.
America deserved 9/11, dude. Fuck it, I'm saying it. Like we fucking totally brought it on ourselves, dude. Holy shit, we did. Like how is this? How is anything I'm saying controversial? Like we fucking fund the people who did 9/11 still to this day.
I said America deserved 9/11. Obviously, what I was talking about within the frame of the conversation was about America's foreign policy and the blowback from America's foreign policy, because it was directly talking about like funding Al-Qaeda and funding the Saudi government. Our actions in the Middle East directly caused 9/11 and numerous other catastrophes, and our efforts of consistently destabilizing the region continue and make the world a worse place overall. And like the outrage machine basically took my spicy and vulgar language to the next degree, you know, a terrorist supporting a communist Muslim TYT commentator, Hasan Piker. Tucker Carlson was talking about it. Fox and Friends was talking about it. There was a moment I remember still like everyone brought it up on the Fox News lineup. Like everyone brought it up and did coverage over it. Laura Ingraham had Dan Crenshaw on to like cry about it, literally just like on camera. He had like his like little 48-hour press tour where he was like, "You seem so triggered." It's like, dude, you're literally going on national television as a fucking adult. You're like a Purple Heart veteran, and you're talking about some dumb idiot on an internet show on Twitch talking shit about you. And he definitely did. He cried about it a lot. He got a lot of mileage out of that. Good for him. Basically, after that, I was getting like a sea of death threats, and I got suspended from Twitch for like 7 days, I think. I feel like I was putting undue stress on the company as well, like by being there, because everyone was getting death threats. Like literally everyone that worked there were getting death threats because of me, because of what I said on Twitch. That's the modus operandi of the right. We are all used to it at this point. If you're in media, you're like, yeah, death threats, like, you know, it's gonna happen. But like a lot of those people certainly did not deserve the additional scrutiny and death threats they were getting. I felt terrible about that. It was definitely one of the other reasons why I was like, I'm gonna keep saying some fucked up stuff. So I don't wanna link it back to these guys. It got to a point in 2019 where I would wake up at 6 in the morning, write videos, shoot those videos, be done by 2, like, you know, give edits to the editors, produce the video itself, upload the video, right, by like 2 p.m. to like 4 p.m., upload the video, go to the gym, work out, cook my chicken really quick and hastily, and then start streaming all the way till the night, like for another at least 6 hours, 7 hours. And it was insane. It was probably the craziest thing I've ever done. And that's when I started really growing on Twitch. And the Young Turks was basically like, what are you doing? You're just like live streaming while we're also live streaming. When I got to a certain point, they were like, you can't do this. Like, we want you to do more for the company if you want to still keep working here. So I was fucking terrified. I was like, I'm not gonna have health insurance if I leave the Young Turks and go on Twitch. Like, I could lose everything. And eventually it got to a point where they were like, yeah, no, you can't. Like, you can't stream while we're streaming. Like, during the hours that we're streaming from like 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. So anytime there's like a Young Turks show, and they're live literally all day, you can't be live streaming. So I was like, okay, I'm out. I have no guarantee. Like, I have no stability. I have no guarantee. I have some money saved up from just never really spending money, but it was a little terrifying. But it happened to be the best decision of my life. Twitch is a live streaming platform. So it's basically like YouTube, but everyone is live all the time. And now it's becoming more and more like a platform where people like myself build shows and talk and broadcast and basically do like podcasts, things like that. My main driving force is my subscribers, my community. So one of the reasons why I originally joined Twitch was because I'm a gamer myself. I played video games a lot when I was growing up, and it was important in my life and upbringing. But I saw that the gaming space on YouTube especially was like very slanted towards the right. It would constantly talk about like, look at this blue-haired, gender non-conforming college freshman crying hysterically. And then you had like the pundits that would go and debate them and, own them by using Heritage Foundation talking points as like a full-blown adult, putting a microphone in the face of like a fucking 18-year-old who's like trying to figure out the world. And those things would go super viral. I'm a leftist, I'm not a liberal, I'm beyond a liberal. And I wanted to use my privilege for good with that respect. It's like nothing you say is going to target me personally beyond just saying like I'm an idiot. So I will take advantage of that and try to educate you on why you're being a dumb bitch for, freaking out about like a random person, a random 18-year-old in college. A lot of gamers are progressive. For the most part, it's like a very diverse space, but I didn't like that like the most of the representation of like people who are non-political or presented themselves as non-political were actually very political and were like super far right. Like they were right-wing as hell. And I didn't like that. And I wanted to show people that like if someone educates you in a calm manner or in an entertaining manner, you will recognize that like you yourself have a lot of progressive values that you personally believe in. And you can unlearn some of the like dumb things that you learned from these like weirdo neckbeards on the internet.
I do have a pre-existing condition, and now that my insurance company can't deny me coverage, I like that, but I hate Obamacare. Like, oh, okay. Good that you hate Obamacare while simultaneously preaching all the things that happened in Obamacare.
It's pseudo-intellectual wrestling for people who want to be entertained. I think most people don't see it just as entertainment. They see it as like a way to test the metal of your ideas, like in the marketplace of ideas or whatever. It's bullshit. It's just like, it's a game of rhetoric. Whoever has a more powerful command over the language, whoever is more charismatic, whoever is more confident, will always functionally win a debate. Now, what do you win in a debate? That's up for debate. It could be educational. It certainly gives you talking points that you can use to combat misinformation in your life. But beyond that, it's not like, I don't think it's the end all be all at all. I think people should be more honest about their point of view. And as long as they have an open mind and want to learn, it's good. I just made my own choices and built my own business model, I guess, if I were to use a term like that. I paved it on my own because I thought like, this is a concept that I think is cool, gaming. This is a concept that I think you can marry with gaming. political commentary. My Turks background also gave me a very different perspective on America's involvement in world affairs. Most Americans don't recognize this or know this, but like outside of America, you know, people kind of look at Americans as like psychos, because we're fucking psychos. We're bloodthirsty psychos. And most of the planet recognizes that, except we don't recognize it. And then we're like, no, everybody loves us. We're the world police, come on. I want to educate people, I want to entertain people while I do that, and I want people to have a better, more positive approach to dealing with issues and develop a better understanding of why they feel the way that they do. That's my ultimate goal, and I feel like I achieved that on a day-to-day basis with my commentary and with everything I do, so I guess that's great. The reason why I had to make a non-linear career out of what I'm doing is because there just no such thing existed at the time. I recognize how fortunate I am because I do something that everyone would want to do. Everyone would want to be able to do. Not necessarily, speak politics for hours and hours and hours to thousands of young people, but I mean I'm able to speak my mind freely. That's a level of freedom that you will never be able to achieve in the workplace unless you have stronger labor protections, which are not going to happen because, capital owners and your bosses don't want that to ever happen. But I love that. That's the most important part of making money for me, is just like being able to have freedom and be able to do and say whatever I want when I want it.